So, welcome to the No Shame podcast. So, we have finally arrived at the week that we have all been waiting for. I had to ask this morning, how long was the lockdown? Like that. I'm saying to Chelsea, and she was like 4 months. I had to check it. I had to count her up to see if it was 4 months. That has been a long 4 months. Now I don't think we're home and dry just yet. I think this is the month of caution, isn't it? That's how I'm taking it in anyway. So we're dipping our toes back into the water, but the time I think we've all been waiting for at now is to get back to the gyms as well and get back to the being around the groups of people and that social kind of atmosphere that's amazing for us. We need that. We think we kind of need that social connection. The idea of being able to talk to somebody else and have a conversation and bounce back and forward, to me, I think is a dying breed. But I love it. Maybe it's in my genes or something. But I'm a bit of a yap on myself. The mental health aspect, I think, of the gyms coming back is going to have a massive blow on people. I know people that their whole life is the gym. Some people like the pub, some people like the gym. But the amount of people seeing the popping up this morning on my Instagram feed, my Facebook feed, and all, getting back out into the gyms and seeing all of the classes that have been taking place, and then you have seen some photographs from after classes and stuff, and it's like that look is back in the face. That true happiness, that happiness where you're kind of you're not happy because you've gained something or you've obtained something. You're just literally happy within. I'll tell you where my happy place is when I need to get there sometimes, and I just need to reset. Is I go out to the Vico. I try to go out as late as I can so the tide is in. Now, obviously, this is no secret because everybody does this, but maybe not everybody talks about it because sometimes it can come on. It can come on heavy, and I just dig my heels in. I feel that your actions will always speak louder than your words, and your actions is what you should base your life on, and you should base your integrity and your empathy on them things. That's how I do it. But sometimes being a given person, being that idea of like where you're at the helm of a lot of things, you can drain your energy. And I've spoken about this before on this about the well of your life. It's important to get back to your well and refill, because it's very hard to be able to try and help big groups of people and not get exhausted. We are all human. We are only humans, and it's important that you get back to that, because if you're not physically okay and mentally okay, it's very hard for you to step out of your zone and help others. Something I do see from people, I got a lot of people that come to the gym, all different types of situations, but one of them could be somebody that was maybe feeling a little bit down. And over this time, I know that's going to be. I've already seen the numbers already. The ideas of phone calls into people like Samaritans and all of these groups, amazing groups as well, because sometimes it can be very, very late when these dark shadows come over you. But anyway, what I do is I go swim in the sea, and I think the more kind of bugged up I am with stuff, the more stuff that's being placed on my shoulders, the more I get out of it. I walk straight to the edge, and I don't even think about it. I just jump. I strangely, it's in my book. If anybody's ever read it, I talk about a time where I discovered this, and it was life giving. It's powerful. It is. Now, saying that, today I have, because of in the spirit of it all as well, the small businesses opening again, and you can feel that excitement and that relief in the air as well, because let's face it, unfortunately, some businesses didn't make it to this stage, and hopefully they do get the help that they needed, and they get built up over the next little while, and they get back on their feet, because small businesses are the heart and soul of communities. Let's be straight with it, like the idea of going into the barbers and having that banter, or going into the hairdressers and having that banter is it's second to none, I think, when it comes down to the idea of, like I said, with that social connection as well. So don't know about you, but I'm dying to broaden my conversations with a lot more people other than my dog, my 18-month-year-old, my girlfriend, and a few other people outside that circle. But to see some of the faces come back is, it's just, you just don't know if you miss somebody until they're gone, don't you know? And then you see them and you're like, hey, I love that little energy. It gives me that little zest again to remember why we have that relationship. So the guy, as I said, with the small businesses I have on today is sneaker surgery. I love this. I love the idea of somebody coming up with an idea and then saying it, and everyone being a little bit like, whoa, hold on, I don't know about that. When it comes to like a business idea, and when someone goes for it and it works, it's like, oh, brilliant. It's they took the chance, if you must. Sneaker surgery, what they do is they come and collect all, I call them runners, right? So if we listeners all over the world, if sneakers, runners, if you live in the north, you'll call them goodies. That's what I used to call them when I was small. Maybe not anymore, but yeah, that's what they were called when I was young. Runners, goodies, trainers. This guy comes to your house, takes them, and brings them back to your house brand new. So I gave him, I think it was 6 pairs. Actually, I have a funny story, I'll tell you. I asked Chelsea while I was down in the gym, I laid the shoes out. I laid 6 pairs of Air Max 90s, the best runner ever made. The Swiss Army knife of a trainer or a runner or a goodie or whatever you call them. That would be my point on it. I remember when I was a kid and you used to get a pair of Air Max 90s, your ma would probably have to pay for them by $5 a week or something like that for the whole year. But when you got them, oof, the smell of them, the hold of them, the feel on your feet, the feeling that they gave you. Macklemore says it great in a song. He says about a pair of Jordans and how they made him feel. And he says to his mother, these trainers and that air bubble right there is going to make me fly. It doesn't matter if it doesn't. It only matters if you believe it does. And I remember that confidence as a kid. I remember if I had got a new pair of runners, everything else seemed a lot better. My mind frame was better. I wish I had sussed that out as a kid, rather than figuring that out as an adult, that a lot of this stuff is done up here. Your mouth wants to speak, your chimp wants to react, but you have to be careful. You have to remain patient and see the land, because 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months is not really a long time. But when you're thinking of it, it is. But when it comes down to it, when it boils down and it's crammed all in together, it's a few lines. It's a few lines of a story what a few months is. So it's important to be patient. But I'll quit going on because I'm probably going to cover most of this when I go on. Anyway, but this is amazing. You don't know, like sneakers or runners and stuff like that, they fetch mad money. Like, you would be surprised at some of the money that goes for them. Chelsea's cousin lives in London, and this is his obsession. He's obsessed with it. He has walls and walls of runners that are worth thousands of euro. He queues up to buy the new runners that are coming out, only to sell them somewhere else and make a few euro. It's madness. But I actually think the runner game is something that I probably would be in if I wasn't in the fight game, or I wasn't in the politics game at the moment, or the gym game, or the, I don't know, or the book game, or the float game, or whatever else I have my hand in. But any one of them that are in, I'm in for the right reason. Bet your bottom dollar that. So let me get Gareth on here from Sneaker Surgery. Here you go. What's the story?
Oh, bro.
You want to? I probably said this last week, but it's funny. I must be getting old or something, Gareth, right? You want to see me trying to type in the numbers there for you sent me like the long number. Most people do that for the Skype. They send you the long number. And I'm sitting there like this, I am. Even with glasses, I am.
Oh,
I had a disaster. I couldn't find you.
You can hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah, you're all good. Yeah, you're all good there. Yeah, I see you're in the shop.
I'm in the workshop.
You're making a show of me there. I thought I had a few runners.
I show off, you know.
As I was introducing you there, because I was saying about the idea of small businesses and all opening again, and the idea of people, I don't know, just sitting there with that idea. And there's no doubt when you mention this idea to your mates, I guarantee they were looking at you like, this fella's a bit weirdo.
See, my neighbour just can't understand how people are. You're telling me someone pays you to clean their runners? I'm like, it's a big fucking market now, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's massive. Like, and the thing is, runners are like retro, isn't it? In that way, like it falls into that kind of like Sega Mega Drive kind of thing as well. Like, where Sega Mega Drive selling for more than what they did back in the day.
Like, I've only got, I don't know, through everything I have there, like not many of them are brand new. Like most of them would be fucking like early 2000s, late 90s. Like there's no like I trawl eBay and find all the old ones. I don't like the new ones. I think they're fucking. I think they're QA QC on them is shite. Like
I'm the same. I'm not a fan. And here's it. I was only showing them thing the old pair still looking fresh.
of course, bro.
But to me, they're the shape, the original shape. Like they were the feel good shape, as I was telling you. As a kid, your man paid €5 off for the year, and or £5 off for the year. The one with the none on it.
They're 2000. That's 2012s. So
I
they're
have them. Are they a net on the front of it?
yeah.
White net.
Yeah, these are called vintage. So because they're called vintage, everything is a bit yellowed because this is how they looked new because they wanted them to look old when they came out new. So they're called an Air Max 90 infrared vintage. So they have that vintage look. But yeah, I've never even worn them. Would you believe I restored them and then they just sit here now?
I remember there was a little phase. Now it must have been a weird phase, but where having dirty runners was actually cool. I don't know whether one of the kids that made it up just had dirty runners, and all of a sudden you had
come on, that's what the lads who couldn't afford new ones would bring out. You know, that kind of way.
Yeah. I was like saying to you when I met you, right? The first time I ever made any euro, any coin in the UFC, I took €1,000 out and cash note. Thought I was loaded with my first money. Now I probably was compared to what it was. I went from broke to a millionaire in my eyes, you know. Yeah. But I went down and I bought 10 pairs of Air Max 90s. I did, and I'm telling you, it was like a dream come true. People were saying to me, "What do you want to do? What are you going to do with your first few quid?" And I was like, "I'm going to buy runners." I don't understand it, but
it's what you're into, isn't it?
When I was looking through your page and I was seeing what you're into, I was like, I get him. I understand what he's on.
Well, you need to understand. I feel like rotation, having a lot of pairs of runners. If you have 10 pairs of runners, do you know what I mean? Or you have 4 or 5 pairs of runners. Think of it. You're not wearing the same pair every day. So you're getting longevity out of those 5 pairs compared to that one pair you're wearing day in, day out, all day, every day. You're going to wear the bollocks out of them. But if you have those 5 pairs, you rotate them, maybe wear a pair for 2 days or maybe a pair in the morning, a pair later on. Like that's how you keep your runners looking well. Like
that's good advice. I forgot to say as well when I was logging in here to Gareth, he's a serious salesman. He's a serious salesman as well. How did you get into this?
I was always big into sneakers, but when I moved to Australia, I lived in Australia for a good few years, and obviously when you move over somewhere like that, you can't bring everything with you. So all my stuff was gone, and I was living over there. And after a while, I met this fella over there, and I used to work with him. What would we call him? We call him Lanky. Bleeding young fella, was like 14 foot tall, but he was big into runners, big into that whole scene. That every other country bar Ireland is big into the scene. Like, we're just a little small island. Do you know what I mean? They're not. There's not many of us over here. It's getting better now, but there's not many of us. But he would bring me every Saturday. We'd finish work, and he's like, "Come on, we go to the Nike outlet." And I'd be like, "There's a Nike outlet?" Before Ireland ever had a Nike outlet, they had an outlet. And he's like, "Come on down." I'm like, "Fuck off, no way." So he brought me down there, and I'm just like, "No way." And he got me. He, in a way, got me back. Like, oh, because I used to love them, and then it kind of dropped off, and I found cars, I found women, I found everything else, and runners weren't a priority. So then he got me into it, and then I trawl eBay or over there, or the Gumtree is like what we did have Gumtree, but Gumtree is what adverts is to us over there. That's their selling platform. And I used to just buy runners off that all the time. And then I was lucky enough coming back, I got to bring a container home and I got to load all my runners in. And then I came back and collection started to grow. And then a fella in town, he'll remain nameless, but a fella in town, he was a sneaker restorer. I was like, right, that's grand. And I'd give pairs into him, and pairs that just needed to be cleaned, and they'd always come back and they'd be clean, and that's great. Fair play to them. They'd always become clean. And then I gave him this one pair that I got in Australia. They cost me $30, which is fucking what, €18 or something. They were brand new, but I wore them to death. And I ended up getting a job in Denmark, and I was back and forth from Denmark for about 6 months. And I gave them to him probably on my 3rd month, and I says, "Listen, I'll be back in 3 months for them. Just have them ready for me." I came back, gave him a phone call. "Can I pick them up tomorrow?" And he said, "Yeah, no worries." I went in the next day. He wasn't there, and there was a fella there, and I says, "What's the story, bro? Your man said these runners are ready for me. Can I pick them up?" And he says, "Oh, I don't know." I goes, "I'll describe them for you." And I says, "They were grey. They were navy and red, blah blah." And he brought them, and there was nothing done on them. not a single thing. But yet the day before, he said to me that these are ready. So I said nothing. Next day rang, I'm on the way in for them. Yeah, that's grand. I went in, and you could tell that he only done them in 20 minutes it took me to get from my house to town, and I was disgusted. But I didn't know, you know, like was it? I was I don't know if it was shock. I just took them, and he said there's no charge on them, and I was like, okay, fucking right, there's no charge on them. And he gave them to me anyway, and I went home and I wore them for a few weeks. You know what I mean? And it's after those few weeks, I was actually like, these are fucked, man. But if you go onto my Instagram page and you know the little circle of highlights,
Sneaker Surgery is just Sneaker Surgery is his Instagram page of make sure that you get it, because people, that has happened sometimes in the podcast, and people are like, they never even said what the page was.
Yeah, sneaker_surgery, and Facebook I didn't get sneaker surgery, so we're sneaker_surgery_Dublin. So same profile picture, so you'll find us. But if you go to the little highlight, the little circles, one that says my story, I go into that story in depth and I show you the runners before, and they're perfect now. So I took the time, and they're absolutely I don't even wear them anymore. I only wore them once because we were going to a sneaker event and I had just finished them. I brought them to show them off. But so that if you look at that highlight, I talk absolute shite through the whole thing. But you get the gist of what they were before, how they were given back to me, and what they look like now. So that, and I buy for the whole first few months, I was buying second-hand ones off eBay, like rallied second-hand ones, and just cutting them up, painting them, stripping them, changing the colors, just all stuff that I wouldn't worry before I would take somebody else's in, you know, the kind of way. And then after a while, people started to trust me, and jeez, I am where I am now, you know.
The passion, you can tell, you can see the passion is pouring out of you. That's why that's why you're there. I don't want to say that's why it is there, but that would be my observation of you as say a coach or somebody that would I look out for this because I love it. Yeah. It's like a disease. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you're in bed and you're thinking about runners. I'd say, you know, we're the same way with me now. Like at the moment, what I'm doing right is I'm making a pillar in my gym and I'm wrapping it with tires. Right. Obviously, there's a million different problems that can go wrong there. You have to cut the tires with an angle grinder. You have to put them into each other. But then I'm like, right, are you going to separate? Are you going to go that way? And all?
Any steel wires inside going to poke out, etc.
Yeah, you know, and in bed at night, I'm at the sauna and I fixed it all. So what I've done is I've cut the tires, I screwed them together, and then I glued them when they were screwed with Tech 7. Yeah. Now, start out the Tech 7. You can glue a bleeding person to the roof with Tech 7. Do you remember that stuff? Tech 7. And then what I did is the inside of them. Listen, this is the killer. I filled it with expanding foam.
And the foam, I was thinking that before you said it.
Yeah. And then what happened was, so we made sure I kept it pressed so it didn't push the tires apart and all. And then it just took the inside of the tires that did the expanding foam.
Yeah, it inflated them, yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. It is. So the pillar's wrapped now.
But that was your eureka moment.
I'm planning this in bed, I am. It doesn't come to me during the day. I don't know why. But maybe that's
you get. Put down that phone. Are you listening to me? And your mind is elsewhere, and I'm thinking of 700 different colours and different. You all right? What? Did you even hear that? I'm like, yeah, you know yourself, man.
I'm getting better at not being there. I'm working on being in the moment these days. You know, I'm starting to realize that patience is a massive part of life in the way of and not reacting too much, you know, because if you react too much, like I can imagine you having to deal with some fussy customers with what you're doing, or that you've ever messed up by. Give us a story.
I'm lucky enough in the sense that I haven't messed up, but during so my son was he was 15 months 2 or 3 days ago, but during the time of when I got this going and we were going through it, my partner would always go, "Mad, you started this business just after the baby was born." And I was like, I appreciate, I understand that, and I'm like, I'm terribly sorry that I done that, but that's when I got that, I lit that fire. Do you know when you have 2 kids, but you know when, do you ever get that moment when I have a good job, I have a good 9 to 5, and I'm not working in it just due to the COVID at the minute. Intel is still closed down, so I'm not going in, which is great. I'm getting a lot of time at home with the kid, with the business and everything, and it has grown. But do you know when you have your son, and like you, I'd say you can imagine this, that you have the gym. it's not that I won't be able to provide for my son, but to know that you have another income coming in, and you know that your son, your partner Chelsea, and then Shamey, you have Shamey and Tiernan as well. You know that you have that other. You want something for them. Like, I don't want to work for the man for the rest of my life. I'm building something that maybe he could walk into my steps, and he could. And it's weird. It's weird how having a kid makes you. It changes your perception on everything to do with life, like, you know what I mean?
Respect, mate, respect. I'm telling you, like, I talked about that loads of times on the podcast, and I even put it in my book in a detailed way. But like, when I was having Tiernan, it was like going to the top of a slide and never been down, and like didn't know what was happening, but I was getting ready to get down it, you know. But then on the second time going with Shamey, I had the idea of I was able to actually enjoy it a lot more. So we were driving to the hospital. I was so just so nervous, you know what I mean? So like, didn't know what was going to happen. But I was older now, and I had more than one pair of runners. Gary, you know what I mean? At this stage, with Tiernan, I probably had half a pair of runners. But yeah, no, and here, what a situation to be there for. Like how strong must you be to come through like birth? Like, absolutely incredible. Like for both, for baby and mother and baby, it's probably one of the, like, the amount of people that I always message somebody when they say that they have a baby on the way, right? Because I do be like, mate, you don't understand. This is amazing. This is that. Like, and it's because the first thing that hits you with change is nerves and fear and all of that other stuff. But you got it. You have the bug. You can tell by it there. I did the same with Seamus the minute, or with Tiernan. Minute I had to, I'm already in out for the sea. I'm like, Seamus turn in the gaff. Shout for them.
Yeah.
The last name on the list, but it gives you that energy when you come home to it. You have that little smile on your face, and it's like it's incredible. I'd have loads of kids, Gareth. That's my plan. I want a big, huge field. Do you know what I mean?
Old school Irish, what?
Yeah, that's what I want. I want 10 kids. I do.
It's how I kind of would describe it to people is you've never been so excited to go home in your whole entire life. Like, you think you're excited on a Friday when you finish work. When you finish work on that Friday, and you know that there's a little person sitting at home, and when you walk through the door, they see you and they acknowledge you, and they're running to the door, or in my case, at the minute, crawling to the door with the arms out. Like, it makes it seem all worth it. You know, the kind of way, you know you're breaking your bollocks out there day in, day out. And for me, before this COVID, I was going to work, coming home, spending time with him, and then going to work again. You know what I mean? Because I'd only done the sneakers part time, because that's the only bit of time I would get. You know, the kind of way. So
I respect that, mate. You know, I respect the idea that your son's very lucky as well, because not everybody's in that situation. You know what I mean? To have a father there that's batting for them, and I'll always be one to shout out for the fathers that are out there. You know what I mean? And batting and going for it, and the mothers as well. You know what I mean? But sometimes I look back at my own kind of situation, what you were talking about there, and I do wonder about. Look, I never got the chance to meet my dad, and I always wondered in the idea, would it have made me a different person? Would it have made me, I don't know, where I was opinionated already, and I had like I loved sneakers already, or I loved MMA already, where to me I was kind of lucky in a way, and not lucky in a way, but you don't know, like, was I a blank canvas and I was able to just find my own, you know?
Yeah, what you don't know doesn't hurt you as well. Is the kind of thing that I would always philosophy, because let's just say you did know your dad from birth. Would you be where you are now? Would you be doing what you're doing? Do you know the kind of way? That's the kind of the way I look at it as well, you know?
I do have them out conversations with myself every now and again, late at night with a cup of tea. Right. I want to get into this with you because I was only saying that as well. Chelsea's, you probably know him. Can't even remember his name. He has. I'll find the name for you because Jesus, I'm going to get crucified here. Yeah. But he does the runners in London, is what he does. And he's flying with it, you know what I mean? But he goes off and buys, like, I remember or the Yeezys and stuff like that he was going off to get, and he was on a list to buy them, and then he was coming back and selling them, and he was like, it's madness.
There's a big market out there for all them. So at the minute now, the ones coming out are the Dior are doing an Air Jordan. So it's an Air Jordan Dior. It's $1,800 to buy, and like the resale on them, there's guys offering $9,000 and $10,000 and all for when I'm like, listen, I'll enter all the raffles just to enter them for the crack. I know I'm not going to win, but you'll enter out that one day you do get it, and you're like, whoa. But I swear to God, there's a guy on Same again, a reseller in London, and he's offering £9,000 to anybody that wins the draw, like for their pair, any size.
And that's what, like, I thought with one of my students was going on about this draw, right? And he was like, I'm going to make 200 quid, I'm going to make 300 quid. He's in on every draw when the Yeezys were coming out, right? I think he ended up getting ripped and all he did. He got a fake pair of those. You know what I mean?
Man, some of the fakes out there now are little.
I seen a joke the other day about a Montclair jacket or something like that, and it was bought in a shop, and your man had €500, a £500 receipt, and he brought it back to the shop, and they sent it because I was a little ripping it, and they sent it to Montclair and said, "Nah, mate, this is not a Montclair jacket." And your man has to pay a receipt for £500.
Yeah, because he bought.
See, I didn't think about that. It doesn't matter really if it's worth £500 or not. It's that you think it's worth £500.
Exactly.
You know.
I have these here, but see the spoons. So these would be like my favorite, but they're like €140. When they came out, and they go anywhere from about €800 to €1,200 now resale, and of course, little lad has them as well.
Ah, nice. Yeah, do you know what I have to say? I'm not a fan of them ones.
I love them, and I wasn't when they first came out. But my God, I love them now. I don't know why.
They remind me of the old hikes that you used to get in them, rip off Nikes.
Oh God, my God, yeah.
Expensive runners, right? I know you have an expensive pair there as well, but what's one of the most expensive pairs of runners that has gone in the world?
Jeez, it would probably be a self-lacing pair of mags. They're about 50 grand.
What?
Do you know, like in Back to the Future?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They lace themselves, so. It's not when you put your foot in them, they lace themselves. When you put your foot in on the collar, there's a button. And when you press the button, the zoom comes in. But so they only brought out, I think it was 200 pairs of them in 2016 or 17. I'm probably getting that wrong, but you'd pay 55, 60 grand for a pair of them now. Like.
Oh, but yeah. You can imagine coming across an old Storehouse box of them or something.
Oh, mate.
And somebody giving them out to their nephews and all, like
So that's what I was saying to you earlier. So you were saying I have that expensive pair, which I do. So I actually have the first edition mags, right?
Yeah, these ones, 10 G's these at work.
They're ish. My ones I don't think are worth that much because for the simple reason is
give us a look at them again, sorry.
Oh, that's down there. So they're from the Back to the Future.
Is there lights on all of them?
Lights on them, exactly the way they come. Yes, so you got your Nikes and then your Nikes here, and like you actually have to charge these. I had to charge these before the show because you asked me to show them. Because I actually, do you know what? I got a tattoo only there the other day of them on my leg. So I had them. I had the what's it? Oh, gee, hang on. Have me Snickers on.
Good man, which are a grafter. That's what I love.
You see it?
Savage. No, I'll get a picture of it. I will off you. I'll throw it up.
You got it?
And there we go.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
My man Evan Bourne tattoo, colour works. He done that for me.
What was Evan saying when you went in and said you wanted a runner on your leg?
He is a huge sneakerhead, and that's how we came together.
Right.
So I done a lot of work for him, and I had no tattoos, and then I was like, do you know what? How about you do that for me? And he's like, perfect. So that's service for the service trade, you know.
That's a great thing, and if you need to learn any jiu-jitsu, you know where you're at, yeah.
Here, mate, I was in your jiu-jitsu class. I told you.
Oh yeah, an old skill.
Yeah, man, long mile road shit. But Gaston, you were saying about finding a barn find of like an old school box. Those mags that I got. Trawling through eBay one day and work, sitting there, one of the lads we were in a heist, and I was just flicking away. He was doing whatever he was doing, and then I was like, oh my God, there's a pair of them mags in a cash converters in the UK. Somebody pawned them in, and the bloke in the cash converters didn't know what he had. So I sent him a message like, what story? How much do you want for them? He's like, blah blah blah, and he said, give me £350 for them. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, give me £350 for them. Bye.
Take my money.
And I rang her and I was like, I'm after getting a pair of mags for £350. Do you want to buy them for me 30th? I'm not buying you another pair of fucking runners. And I was like, these ones for me birthday, will it, for fuck's sake? So she ended up pretty much she got by fluke. She got me the best 30th birthday present I could ever get in my life because ever since I seen Back to the Future 2, my dad went to America and came home with the Back to the Future 2 DVD for me. And ever since I seen that, I don't know how old I was, like fucking 6, 7, 8. I was like, oh my God, I would love a pair of them. And now I have a pair, so it's crazy.
I was fascinated with Back to the Future as well as a kid. I remember going there and seeing the DeLorean. Do you know that the DeLorean was built in Belfast?
Really?
Yeah.
There's one always parked in the Smithfield markets.
But the actual DeLorean, I'm not sure where actually the actual DeLorean lad comes from, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the first DeLorean was built in Belfast. I remember being told that because I'd seen a DeLorean that was used in the film in Universal Studios, and I was like, yeah, well, he was there. Your head's popping. Listen,
There's a mad documentary. There's a mad documentary about your man.
Sorry, I'm gonna get hit there. What do you think about the time travel thing? Do you think, you know the way sometimes you see a film back in the day and then all of a sudden it starts coming true? Like, I don't know, you can see it.
Or The Simpsons with the coronavirus and all
Yeah,
that.
you know what I mean? Like something like that. What do you?
Oh, I don't know, man. It's like people are like, there can't be coincidences. Like, but look, it's just. Listen, I love a good conspiracy. Love it. Like me and her will go down rabbit holes to do conspiracy theories, and you come out the other side and. But what about you end up having an argument because our opinions are fucking both up our arseholes. But I love a good conspiracy, but I just don't know, man. But like, sure, think about everything. It's the same as religion and all this other shit. So you're telling me there's a bloke in the sky that does all this as well? But listen, people think anything is possible, don't they? Really?
So you know what, man? It's been an absolute pleasure. If anybody wants to get some runners cleaned, what did he got to do?
Hit us up on Instagram or Facebook, as I said, at sneaker_surgery on Instagram. And then it's just sneaker_surgery_Dublin on Facebook. Just send us a DM. Tell us you're looking to get some work done. Send us through some pictures. Show us what sneakers you're looking to get done. If there's a bit of damage on them, send us the damage. Let us know how it happens, what you want to get done. We also do fully customized runners. If you give us a white pair or you give us a certain pair, we can change the colors. We can put stencils on, designs, whatever you want. We can, like the other day, I had a pair of football boots in, and I put the young lads, I put his name and his number on the boots for him. So that's something that's going on. The kids, kids love to stand out, don't they? They love to show about and show off. So there's a way of doing it. There is a crowd actually from, I won't name them, but there's a crowd in Dublin now that they supply boxing boots and boxing gloves. They were in touch to put fighters' names and stuff on their boots. Dano O'Toole, you know Dano.
Yeah.
He's a client of mine. We're going to customize a pair of gloves for him for his next fight in Scotland. So that's the thing we're going to be doing. So if it's anything leather, we can customize for you. We can put a stencil, a name, a design, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, whatever you want. We can do that for you as well. Just send us a DM. The possibilities are endless. The one thing people are saying when they meet me is, "Where were you 2 years ago? I threw out so many pairs of runners and I done this and I done that." So like, if you send me a pair of runners or you send me pictures and like, can you save these? If we can't save them, make them perfect, we will 100% always make them look better for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I really listen. I vouch for it as well myself, because I had to say I was blown away. I had 6 brand new pairs of Air Max I did sitting there, as I said, and some of them would have been ones that I would have bought with that few euro that I was talking about at the start in the UFC. Go out, buy 10 pairs of runners and come home and smell them.
Chelsea shoes as well. They were fit for the bin.
I never even told that story. I didn't. Yeah. As I said, I'll tell that story in the morning. I laid 6 pairs of runners out. I did. I said, "Chelsea, will you hand them out? I'm down in the gym." And Chelsea went and got her own runners, handed out a bag of her own runners. And I came back to her and said,
"Everybody loves a trier, bro."
"Oh no, shit! You left your runners all over the floor." She, "I didn't. I left them out. They were the ones." She was like, "Oh, I didn't know what you said, so I just grabbed a load of my own runners and gave them." It's like,
they're boxed off her as well, aren't they? So she said she had them a long time and they're brand new now as well. You know what I mean? So
everyone thought we had the glittery Jimmy shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, here, look, I was pretty much telling everybody they were yours, so that's probably where it all came from. You know what I mean?
Well, we've worn them a few times, so I wouldn't be like that. They're actually a cracking pair of shoes as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the first pair of Jimmy Choos I've actually had in the workshop, so it was.
He knows how to pick our shoes, you know, or choose. That's a nice thing, how to pick our shoes.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why he calls that. But yeah, so. Yeah, sure. Look, it's what it's all about. Look, anybody in Dublin, surrounding areas, we're even getting inquiries from London and everywhere else. So we're starting to break borders now. So anybody at all that sees this, if you think we can do work for you, get in touch. No problem.
We'll be sure to put your details and your links and stuff like that on this, mate. I have to say I enjoyed that, because even the time I met you, as I said, we were there, I was like, I couldn't do this all day with you. You know what I mean?
We said we saved for the day, and the day came. So happy days, and thanks for having me on, mate. I really appreciate it.
if we look for runners, we'd probably be rivals if that was the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, listen, if you're doing that, maybe you wouldn't be able to fight. So you never know. In a different, in a different.
It'd be like Anchorman with runners. That's what it'd be like.
Yeah,
Runners
yeah.
at each other.
Oh, stop, man.
There you got it. Look after yourself, mate, and
Thanks,
have a good
mate.
week.
You
Stay
too.
safe.
Talk to you soon, pal, right? Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye. I have to say, I love that. It gives me that energy it does when you see somebody after getting up and going for it, and then it's working for them. So he's gone from working his job and putting that time into his skill on the side. I think that's the real key to success. The key to success is not dropping everything and running after it because you have to you have to graft. You have to put that work in. You gotta pay them bills and do what has to be done. But if you want to be successful in your skill, you have to put that in your extra time. So your overtime is your skill time. So when training is over, do more, do extra, go after it. If you work and you say, oh, well, I can't make it there, do more, do extra. You know, go in the morning, go in the evening, do whatever you have to do to make sure that your dreams stay alive and that you can dig your heels in, and then you can be proud in the future to say that you stood by yourself and that you went after your dreams, even when people told you that you couldn't. Because let me tell you, when you get close to your dreams, that's going to happen more than you actually think. I've said it many times in this podcast. Usually, when you are being people are telling you not to go that direction, you're probably going the right way. And it's a bad indicator to look out for, but it's definitely an indicator. And I might be wrong, but somebody that has done a lot of stuff and individually and start from the bottom and now we're here. Look after yourself.